be pretty much main storyline stuff tonight. Now, where did we leave off? It's been a little while, so I'm actually not sure what the last thing we did was. I think it was the Forest Kingdom. Look at that beautiful little bow. 9S. Total cutie. Let's just do a quick stock take of everything. Let's have a look at the plug-in chip situation. I feel like we could probably afford an upgrade. Let's check that out first. Yeah, we can. We don't have a ton of G, whatever G stands for. Gold? Gravy? Good stuff? We don't have that much of the good stuff. So perhaps we hold off, because the setup we've got right now isn't too bad. We're surviving. What's our prod program situation? Gravity and scanner. We don't need either of those on. Let's just take a quick look at the equipped chips. Auto heal, deadly heal. Max HP up. The counter is good. Critical up. Probably the most unnecessary, and also the least necessary. Funnily enough, it's both. So let's have a look at what we don't have equipped, because there might be something. It's worth 7 slots, and we've got an extra one. So we've got 8 slots to play around with, theoretically. So I'll just look for anything that's 8 or lower. Fast cooldown? No, not worth that. More deadly heal? The deadly heal's been doing really well. So is the auto heal. Resilience, +3. Avoid stagger after hits is not bad. It's not bad at all. It'll just help us take down enemies a little bit quicker. Melee defense? We're not really dying, so I don't think defense needs to go up that much. What I really want is to be able to buy the auto pickup from Deviler and Poplar, which is not available to us yet. And then quests. What have we got active? Couple nice little side quests. We can upgrade. Well, not upgrade. We can examine the machine again. The big Goliath. Ingalls. Weapons. We haven't got any new weapons. Oh, we did get some new weapons actually. Ooh, we're not really using weapons as 9S. I think we're kind of good. I think this stock take is more or less over. I don't see. Much that we need to really worry about at this stage. Let's chat to Anemone and let's continue. Love the way the music kicks in when you talk to her. Beautiful. Oh yeah. This is a side quest. This isn't even main quest. What have we got main quest wise? Anything? What's out there? Let's just casually explore. Refamiliarize ourselves with the controls.
These resistance types sure do use and abuse us, don't they? It's like they see us as a couple of gophers or something.
No complaining about your work. Exchanging information with the resistance is a vital part of our mission. Besides, being a gopher is safer than being locked in combat all the time. Not dying beats dying any day.
Now why gopher? Why gopher? Gopher is such a weird pull for both of them, and for 2B to not only acknowledge, or not only ignore the pull, but to also then repeat it. It's almost like too weird. Kind of like she maybe she doesn't know what a gopher is. maybe neither of them do, but they're both pretending to. You ever been in a social situation where you say something nonsensical, but because of social pressures, someone around you agrees with you or repeats what you said, and then you know that they don't know what they're talking about, but you can't say anything because you also don't know what you're talking about, and to point it out to them would belie your lack of knowledge of the situation. Yash, this game reminds you of you? Well, you're both very sweet and special experiences that I treasure deeply, so this game reminds me of you as well. Now the mission marker told me to come through here, so presumably we're able to continue on with the critical path. Exactly, Soph. You feel me? Now because I'm a little brain dead from the week, we're going to be saving regularly because I have a feeling some deaths are going to come. Ooh, we're going to cutscene.
Why must we read all these books, brother?
Knowledge expands horizons and enriches existence.
But can't we just transfer all this data over instantly?
Into your head, perhaps, but not to your heart.
I guess. Hey, so...
Yes?
My name? Eve? This book says it's a woman's name. Shouldn't we be called Cain and Abel or something instead?
Humans wouldn't change names so easily. Besides, you should be proud of the name Eve.
Huh. Well, if that's what you think, then I'm fine with it.
Glad to hear it. Is there something else?
After we're done reading, can we go out and play? I'm sure it'll be tons of fun.
All right, but only after we're finished.
You mean it? Then I'm gonna try extra hard to finish this. Extra hard!
You do that.
Love their dynamic. Yash, enjoy your lie down. I am doing well, and I will have a lovely stream. Thank you. Yeah, Adam and Eve. Well, great characters. I think I mentioned this probably the last time I streamed. I'm repeating myself a lot in this playthrough. I know. I've been watching back some of the VODs as I upload them to YouTube, and I've noticed that there's been like things that I've brought up multiple times. It's hard when you're by yourself and you have so many very specific thoughts about a game. It would be maybe a little bit easier if I was playing with someone or playing alongside each other, perhaps. But maybe that'll be for the 200 follower stream. I'll have someone else here. I'll show them the game. But the reveals of Adam and Eve's dynamic in the second playthrough really remind me of more than anything else in the game. Really remind me of the revelation of subsequent playthroughs of the original NieR. There's something very
There's another of those machines. I suppose it's going to attack me, right?
Oh, this is the golden machine again.
Purposely seeks out androids in order to enact revenge. It should be dispatched immediately.
Got it.
We will, in a moment. But yeah, there's something very similar in terms of the flavor in the presentation of it, the way it cuts away and shows you them interacting through the actions you've already taken in the initial playthrough. But the other thing is the purposeful limitation of abilities, the suppression of the advantages of being robotic or being artificial. for instance, like the ability to. Whoop. Wow. We sure do. Oh boy. I'll finish my thought after I dispatch of this angered machine. Takes a couple of hits, I think. Sure does. Well, these hacks are pretty easy. These hacking games are pretty easy, so let's get through them quickly, and then I'll do the tall bot too. But yeah, the suppression of those abilities that are advantageous in order to more closely resemble humans. You know, that's a trope that exists in a lot of science fiction. It's funny, I'm actually watching Battlestar Galactica for the first time. Again, I think a point I think I've made in prior streams. I'm watching Battlestar Galactica, the remake, for the first time, and it's got a lot of similarities to this story. The cycle of history and the way events happen and happen again. Sad. But also similarly the Cylons have this desire to more closely resemble humans. Okay, on occasion they'll remove themselves from their network in order to, either purposefully or not purposefully, in order to die or to feel pain. Ooh. Why won't it lock on? Why can't I lock onto the... It's weird. Something's bugging out with the game. Let me just take out this little guy. And then hopefully we can hack. Okay, there we go. But it is interesting the way that, like... Ooh, did that count? It did. Tragic. Not much longer. Glory to mankind? No, glory to you. Glory to the family. Oop.
Machines wanting to avenge their families? That's absurd.
Data shows that humans often engaged in similar activities throughout mankind's history. Such attempts at revenge were often seen as justified.
And yet, the bedrock here was bombed out in the last war.
I wonder if I cut out something there.
Starting to sink as a result.
Oh, that's right. We did actually accept the next mission, which was the battle in the ocean against is it Grun? Can't really remember the name of the enormous nautical beast.
Is that what we need to protect?
Yes.
Let's take him out already so I can be home.
Let's have a dinner in a bath. Whoops. Whoops. Oh, not quite.
Androids don't need to bathe. As long as you perform regular cleaning and maintenance, bathing is unnecessary.
Yeah, but come on.
Come on, today it still feels good. Oops, whoopsie dubs. The skin of my teeth there. I don't remember what I was saying, but it was probably unimportant. Oh yeah, it is rather sort of egotistical. I guess it makes sense, right? Though, like that authors of science fiction texts place such an emphasis on positive aspects of the limitations of humanity. Not just the limitations, but also like this flat-out weaknesses. Like, of course, an author is going to frame those weaknesses as a good thing because it's what separates you from these like otherwise superior beings that you've invented for one purpose or another to deliver a message through narrative. It's probably, I mean, there's probably plenty of examples of science fiction texts that don't do that, but I think there'd be far more that do. Where it's like, yes, the robot may be better at all of these other things, but it's not as good as a human, and you know why? Because the human is flawed, and that's why it's better. When you know, doesn't make a ton of sense. And now that I think about it, I'm not even sure that's necessarily what Yoko Taro, what his I always use Yoko Taro as the shorthand for like the creative team on the game. I know that he's not bespoke writing the story and the script of every game that he heads, but I guess it is just like a shorthand for the people that are involved. That's the that's what you do when someone is an auteur, I guess. Yeah, I'm not necessarily certain that the message here is that like humans are better because of those flaws. In fact, probably the opposite, because it seems like the you know, any of these artificial creatures that's emulating humanity by limiting themselves or by purposefully taking on flawed aspects.
2B, 9S, come in.
They lose, right? They lose in the end.
The carrier ship that was sent to resupply has come under attack. It's currently being engaged by a swarm of machines. I've asked all Yorha troops in the city ruins for assistance, and I'll need you to provide backup as well. I'm sending flight units and coordinates now. Good luck.
Great piece of music. I think it's different, slightly different in this playthrough than the last.
You see? Total slave driver.
If she didn't order others around, what kind
It's a
of
weird
leader would
noise.
she be?
If you say so.
The other thing I was going to say before that I forgot to mention, the Adam-Eve dynamic kind of mirrors the 2B9S dynamic in a lot of pretty important ways. The sort of mentor-mentee thing, and the like you know, one of them being sort of more mature and the other being more naive. Maybe that's just like, maybe it's a bit of a reach. I wonder if that comparison is purposeful on their part. If you've got Deadly Heal on in these sections, it's very difficult to die. Because even if you get hit, you're destroying machines at such a rate that your health doesn't really drop too low at any point. Difficulty's fairly low as well, at least in this part. Even the boss itself is pretty easy. But the next section actually after this is pretty fun and interesting, because this is like the only point at, not the only point, but the point at which the first and second playthroughs most diverge, because this is where 9S goes missing temporarily. And in the first playthrough, see, look at that, I took damage and then immediately just like got my health back. So in the first playthrough, you're 2B by yourself, kind of looking for 9S while doing some other things, and the 9S situation is like happening without you seeing it.
Attention, this is
So we get to see
Blue
it
Ridge
as
2.
well for the first time.
Requesting support from any friendly units in range. We've come under heavy fire from the enemy. Our escort ship has taken damage and is unable to engage.
We're currently resisting with all remaining support fighters, but we can't hold them off for long. I repeat, this is Carrier Blue Ridge 2. We need immediate backup from any available android forces.
This felt very climactic. I remember the first time I played it, and it's so far from the end. Well, not that far. It's you know, in the last third. But the first time I played this, I remember thinking like, first time I played it during playthrough A, before ending A, I remember thinking like, this is it. This is the end. Here we go. This has got to be the end. Grasps. What a graspy boy. Welcome. Glad you could catch a stream. Welcome. I'm here to answer any of your NieR questions that you may have.
I'm picking up a large-scale enemy inbound. Looks to be 2.8.
God, it was great to see you the other night as well. Just quietly. Been ages. Goliath Flyer. Yeah, I forgot I have to stand very close for that attack to be particularly effective. Where am I up to? This is, so we are just about to, whoops, should be paying more attention to that. What's this dodge button again? Okay. This is, ending B, so we're doing that, this is the 9S section, the first 9S section, and, we're doing the point just before the two characters are split, and, 9S has to...
What on... If it's that big, we should be able to see it!
Has to transition from body to body in order to get through the machine factory. Okay, we've got... Is it Grun? I keep forgetting the name.
Well,
Pretty sure it's Grun. We've seen this. Let's skip the cutscene just to get through.
Is that a machine?
Great perspective in this section. Probably mentioned that the first time we saw it in the prior playthrough, but God, it's such a cool framing. Like it's because it's sort of isometric. You can move on just the horizontal plane, but the angle of it gives you the scale of the machine as well.
Operator 210 to 9S. Command has decided
Would have taken so long to work out
laser
the exact
strike on the hostile.
framing
we
on
need
that.
you to destroy the enemy EMP generator so we can lock onto the target.
EMP generator?
Sending the coordinates to your map now.
EMP generator target confirmed. Marking on map. Proposal. Destroy the generator quickly.
Proposal accepted. Let's destroy it super quickly. Always love an aquatic mechanical creature. Love that it's sort of shaped like a submarine, so it's such a cool design. Plague of the mech suits. If you're referring to the thing I think you're referring to, is it the bit where you control Pascal towards the
The only known record of this machine life form is a
towards
lone
the end?
sighting 320 years ago. Upon reaching land, the unit unleashed a devastating electromagnetic wave attack. All resistance fighters in the vicinity were annihilated.
So basically, if this thing reaches land, we're screwed.
Pixie,
Affirmative.
thank you so much for the resub. Hold on, let me read this. Appreciate all the sleepy gaming for. Thank you. All the sleepy gaming over the past few months. Thanks for being so great. Thank you for being so great. You're a wonderful presence on this site. I hope to one day meet you IRL. Grasps. Yeah. Oh, these mech suits. These the flying suits. Yeah, sure. There is a side quest in the late game that you can do where you get to control one of the Goliath units in sort of a rock'em sock'em robot style fight, and it's extremely cool, but it precedes one of the most deeply affecting moments of the game. Yeah, drop those moons, Pixie. quite late where you are, right? Are you heading to bed soon? Make sure you get a good sleep. You know that's my shit. Almost 4 AM. Wow. I remember the last time I was able to stay up till 4 AM. My sleep schedule is too in the pocket these days. I would really have to try. Usually 11 PM hits and I'm like, I'm yawning, I'm stretching. Sleepy gaming hours, exactly. Well, I'm glad I can lull you in these early morning hours.
Electromagnetic interference. Stand by for
Yeah.
satellite laser strike.
When I was a full or part-time DJ, similar thing happened. That was probably the last time I was able to stay up that late. I'm really glad I don't live that life anymore, honestly. It really messed with my mental health.
Come on! It's got
Loved to
an
DJ,
electromagnetic
but did
barrier
not
over its
love
whole
to
body?
be awake all night. Because the other thing about it is, like, probably what you're experiencing now is, like, you finish your shift, and you've worked up so much adrenaline, and you've energized your body through, like, chemical means, with coffee or with energy drinks or whatever it is, and then by the time it's home time, you're just, like, still wired, and you can't.
Are you Yorha?
Hunter Squadron deploying out of North 12C
Oh,
Defense
yeah.
HQ.
I forgot about
I'm
this.
the commanding officer, 4B. Don't worry, we'll take it from here.
2B, let's leave this area to the reinforcements. I have an idea. You and I should meet up at the spot I just marked.
Did those reinforcements come in the first game?
We've got mortars lining the
Struggling to
shoreline
remember.
here. All the EMP shielding in the world won't help against close-range mortar fire.
Got it.
I'll help.
Oh yeah, they do, because you come back to this gun again. You don't usually go to sleep until noon. Boy, how does that even work?
This thing's armor is too thick. We need more firepower.
2B, let's try for a more direct approach.
Direct? Oh, right.
That's
Oh,
right. Lay down some fire in its stupid mouth.
Lay down some fire in its stupid mouth, 2B. Come on. You know what's up. Yeah, Aussie streaming hours, I guess, I mean, it messes me up, too. Throws my whole day out of whack. And I'm in the same time zone. That's right, those reinforcements do come in the first playthrough, because you see them all knocked to the shore once this part ends. Oh, what a great scene.
2B, this is bad.
I love Ninus's little bag. Very cute. Enjoy the mashed potatoes, Pixie. Thanks for the lurk. Oh, I've actually got a lurk command if you wanna press it. I don't think anyone's ever used it before. If you just do !lurk, that would be really helpful to me to see if it works. Thank you, Pascal.
An ancient weapon.
There it is.
It was designed to help annihilate the androids, but it wound up going out of control.
Thank you for being my first beautiful lurker.
I was part of the machine's network when it happened, so I remember it. The moment it reached land,
There it
it
is.
went berserk and began attacking everything in sight. No one could figure out
Why didn't it
how
work
to
for
stop it.
Soph?
They eventually marooned it deep in the ocean, but it seems to be searching for a way back. Huh.
That's okay. Don't be sorry. I appreciate you
I have
lurking.
another idea.
My
You
lurkers
keep
are all
that thing right
beautiful,
where it is, okay?
special.
What?
It's the
Please,
best.
2B, this is gonna work.
I take it as such a compliment when people want to watch but they don't want to talk. It's the nicest. Yeah, you're a mod. I told you were a mod. Trust you. Maybe that's why the
2B,
command didn't
I'm
work.
going
Maybe
to see if we can use those missiles back on the shore.
maybe it doesn't
But I
work for
need you to
mods for some
destroy
reason.
the EMP unit on that thing's back. Otherwise, they're just going to go off course. On.
This section's fairly mindless, as you can tell. I'm not really paying much attention. It's mostly just these shmup sections, and they're fairly easy. Although I am taking some hits, as established earlier. Losing health in these sections isn't that big of a deal when you've got deadly heal. Look at that! I'm back at full health again. When I was a kid, I remember playing Space Invaders for the first time at an arcade. It was an old arcade as well. I don't even remember where it was. It might have been in Paul Macquarie or something. Somewhere we went as a little family holiday. I remember playing like an old Space Invaders cabinet and being pretty good at it, but also being very determined to, because I had played like quite a lot of video games at that point, but I was playing like home console NES games that had endings and that had build-ups, and this was kind of my first experience playing like a never-ending Space Invaders game. I remember the feeling of like defeat when I think it was either my dad or my mum explained to me that there wasn't an ending to Space Invaders, because I wanted to see the ending of it. I was playing heaps of it, and I was like, why can't I get to the next level? Why is it just this one level? I want to see the end of this game. I want to see the boss. And they were like, sorry kid. No boss here. Just your own patience. That's what you're fighting against, really, in that game. But yeah, big fan of Space Invaders. Oh, actually, it wasn't even Space Invaders. It was Centipede, and I remember where it was now. It was in Hornsby. There was a grocery store that was like separate to like the big name grocery stores. It was kind of like more of a market vibe, and there was one arcade cabinet at the front of it, right near the entrance. I remember it's all coming back to me now, and that was where they'd post me while they were shopping.
Prepare to launch.
I was a very good kid, so they knew I was going to be well behaved. I remember it was Centipede. It wasn't even Space Invaders. Same concept essentially. That game does have some like not bosses, but like harder enemies that you have to fight.
I didn't think this would be so hard to control.
Alert. Obstacle ahead. A collision at this speed is not recommended.
Well aware, thank you.
Well aware, thank you. Let's do it. Boom. Right in its stupid mouth. Oh yeah.
Signal lost.
Organize a search and rescue party for the missing Yorha members at once. To be 9S.
Don't die on me.
Don't die on me.
Oh.
The child held sway over enormous strength. But sadly, he was also a little bit broken. He spent his long days hurting those around him. He tried his best to be good and kind. But despite his efforts, things never seemed to turn out. They told him he was unwanted. They abandoned him in the deep, dark ocean. And from the cold at the bottom of the sea, he cried out, "Mother, Mother, Mother, Mother." But his voice never reached his mother.
So that's, I mean, presumably about that enormous robot.
This is Tactical Support Unit
But
Pod 042, assigned to 2B.
Also, sort of a similar struggle that is experienced by Emil in NieR Gestalt / Replicant. Not that Emil is in this game as well, but the struggle that he goes through
Support unit
in that
pod
game.
153 assigned to 9S.
So it's similar, has a great amount of power and needs to be
Exchanging our situational data
placed in a
theoretically
particular
allow us to plan combat
location
strategies in a
to
more efficient manner.
avoid hurting
Proposal.
others.
Data should be transferred regularly between Pod 042 and Pod 153.
Analysis. This idea is sound. Proposal accepted. Records will be organized in time for the next situational exchange.
They're friends. The pods are friends. Oh yeah, God. Okay, this bit's so good. I might go mic off for, no. I was just gonna say, because I think it does some good stuff with sound here, unless I'm misremembering. Should I be reading these sections out? And I'm very averse to reading what's on the screen. It feels very, feels patronizing. But also, if there's nothing else going on, I might just not. It's not in my, doesn't feel true to me. So I think the cool thing about these games is they're not afraid to be very quiet. These games, by which I mean the NieR games, there's two of them obviously, but they're not afraid to not only be quiet but to be silent. There's whole sections of both games that are just words on the screen for like quite a long period of time. The text adventure in NieR Gestalt is comes to mind. There's this section, there's the story of Devler and Popula coming through the desert, there's whole moments where the game just like shuts up, and that's really unusual in video games. Games don't often give you just like space. I think that's part of the reason I really love these games. And you can still read all of this in 9S's voice too. This is still very much that character coming through, and it's just written words. But this is 9S experiencing the machine network, which is very similar to the Android network. It's not the same network, but I think it's basically the same architecture. The bunker, 2B's plan, a colossal machine, life form. Oops. So all of this is happening after, or during the point in the first playthrough where 2B wakes up and 9S is missing. But, you know, also like recontextualizing, again, a word I use so much while I'm playing this game, while I'm talking about it. But maybe it's not even the right word, but like repurposing the hacking minigame mechanics and movement for this expository moment is so interesting. It happens a couple times in the game in really cool ways. Welp. Thank you, Ninus. The machine's own governmental endeavors. So 9S is, in this moment, as if it wasn't already clear through the game, 9S is realizing like the depth of the machine's exploration of like deeper concepts that they shouldn't be able to understand. But just through the amount of time that has passed since the machines began producing themselves and reproducing themselves. I mean, this is the singularity, right? This is the end state for artificial intelligence. It's like, you know, none of the information that they gather is going to be lost. It's all going to be gathered and combined and spat back out in ways that follow algorithmic patterns. So I guess that's my reading on why the machines sort of obsessively chase humanity, because the information that their network is built on, the information that's passed from machine to machine, like instantaneously at the point of birth, is all built on human experience, and then not only the original human experience, but then the recreated experience of that human experience by prior machines, and then that knowledge is built upon and stored, but also built upon. And yeah, it's interesting to think about, like, what kind of a, you know, what house is built when the foundation is pure information. Machines are imitating humans, yes. Why would they do that? Can you even shoot in that section? I didn't even try it. Yeah, they only imitate human behavior. If a unit fails, it fails in exactly the same way the next time. If a machine forms a dictatorship that eventually collapses, it won't try a new type of government, it just forms a new dictatorship. Or if it plants crops and they die, it just tries the same thing again. And again. And again. And again. They don't ever learn. So this is the key question, I guess. Why do they imitate their failures? Are they imitating the failures, or are the failures a natural end state to the actions that the machines are performing? Are they imitating the failures on purpose, or are these foundations, these philosophies, and these political systems, these actions, is the failure like embedded in them as part of them, like as a part of it, because you know, humanity is flawed, right? So these flaws, you know, these flaws seem to be key facets of. Anyway, I'm just kind of repeating myself now. It's almost as if the objective is failure itself. Again, the machine's imitating the flaws as a key part of the action. And this is, I guess, the explanation of the birth of Adam and Eve. It's an extension on not even the extension, it's like the extrapolation of the evolution that the machines have to take in order to fulfill what they see as their destiny. It's not enough for the machine network to attempt to reach closer towards the elements of humanity that they've kind of collected and shared. They need to evolve past them. They need to evolve and so Adam and Eve, I guess, are those evolutions. Also interesting to note here the framing of the learning and the growing, starting from war. We made war, learned, grew. The learning and the growing comes from the war, which again is like a very human concept, right? Like, some of the biggest leaps we've taken as humans have been out of times of great conflict. The true meaning of life is hatred. You're wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Gorgeous little acoustic guitar line. Can I shoot? I can shoot in this section. All who live are slaves to desire. Such internal appetites are what give our lives meaning. Some seek beauty, others serenity. For me, hatred is the... I'm not like that. Didn't let him finish. You do not trust anything. You want to destroy everything. You have lost hope in everything. You want to obtain everything. They're human desires, right? Now there's a lot to unpack in this line. The delivery of it is so stark. The music cutting out, it's not even a spoken line. It's written out. The way the word is censored. So crude and so unexpected, but it's also like confronting, I guess, also because as players, and we've talked about this like throughout the first playthrough especially, talked about it in the first 20 minutes of the first stream, in the way that 2B is presented as like as a character. She's designed to be attractive, so a player of this game, regardless of whether they find to be attractive or not, is probably going to be aware of this, realistically, just because we're human again. So I guess like for the game to so crudely and so succinctly sum up that thought like directly to the player as words in front of them. It's like, bold move. I mean, very few games would do something like this. And then for it to just continue. So yeah, super interesting. And then for that to just sort of be in the back of your mind as the game continues. Just that line.
Each of the machines treated their treasures with great care. One treasured family above all else. Another treasured its older sibling. Another treasured its own beauty. But one more machine treasured something unique above all else. Hate.
Is this death? So dark, so cold.
And so now to know that Adam was communicating to 9S through this battle with 2B as well is like,
9S!
I think pretty interesting too. I wonder if that shot of her running towards 9S's body is recorded from your prior playthrough. Interesting to find that out. Because it did seem like it was that was footage from the game engine rather than a cutscene.